Thank you. So you are the shelter of knowledge, even not only for the Devata, Akhila Shaktidhara, but you are even giver of knowledge and Shakti to Brahma also. That's what Sridhar Swami is saying. So this verse actually is telling that Tvad So the person like four Kumaras and Brahmaji, they receive knowledge from you. So they are like surrendered people. So see, there are four kinds of people who approach Krishna. Right? So, so three kinds of people are told in this verse, if you can see. So first is Bhagavat Prapanna. So these are the people who are like Brahma or four Kumaras who come in the category of Ek, Ek Bhakti Jnani. Then there are people who are Artha, so Artha Bandho, and there are people who are Jigyasu. They are Apavargya, Sharanam, those who are desiring to cross over the ocean. So these three kinds of people are told in this verse. So how they are told? So you can see Vishwanath Chandra Thakur's purport. So you alone is the cause of powers. Akhila Shakti Dhara was the first verse. Because you are to be worshipped by actually by devotees. Because devotees get knowledge from you. They only can worship you fully. Because they have knowledge given by you. And there are people who are surrendered like Brahma or Kumaras. They are Jnani Bhaktas. So they got the knowledge of this material world and they could see the material world in its truth. So that is the meaning of the word achash. No, achashta vishwa means what? So they saw. That's the meaning. Achashta means apashyat. Tvad jnanena apashyat. They saw the material world. How did they saw? Just like a sleeping person is woken up. So sleeping person cannot see the reality. Sometimes someone is sleeping and sees a dream like a child and he's chased by a tiger. So he's crying, he's sweating, and mother is there near the tiger, near the child, and she is wondering actually, this fellow is in dream is fearing. So wakes up the child and tells that my dear child, there is no tiger here. So actually like that you give enlightenment. Supta Prabuddha Iva. So you wake them up, that kind of enlightenment, right? So that's why Jeev Jago is there, right? The spiritual masters, they open the eyes of the conditioned souls to see the material world and its experiences and the glitter in a naked reality way. Right? So that's why such people Atah Kritavida, right? So there is word called Kritavida, right? Because Visparyate Kritavida. Kritavida means they are learned, Prabhupada says. So what kind of learning they have? Hmm? So Tvat Kritam eva upakaram janata. Tasya tava padamulam katham vismayate. Actually, they exactly know that you have opened their eyes. You have done that upkar. So how can they forget your lotus feet? They cannot forget. So that's what is told here in this. And then he tells there are other kinds of people. Right? There are people who are jigyasu bhaktas. They are want to attain apavarga. So how they can also forget you? Because you are the shelter for them also. Right? Not only for Brahma, but for jigyasu bhaktas also. Not only that, you are Artha Bandhu also. So you make people free from their miseries like Gajendra. So who can be ungrateful to you? Anyone who obtains knowledge from you and does not worship you is ungrateful. So that's the mood in which he is speaking. Vismaryate Kritavida Katham. Arthabandho. Hey Arthabandho. Katham Kritavida Tvam Vismaryate. How it is possible to forget you? So that's the meaning of this verse. So Prabhupada's purport is very brilliant purport. Hmm. The essence of purport is a person who is surrendered, he breathes gratitude. Hmm. He is constantly grateful. Every Prabhupada begins the purport with the same statement and end the purport with the same statement. That the Lord cannot be forgotten even for a moment by his surrendered devotees. Why? Because he understands that actually I do not even know how much Lord is merciful to me till now. He cannot know how much he has got benefited by the grace of Lord. So more bhakti, more he is enlivened and encouraged. So the gratitude is actually the fuel of every devotee's seva. Right? So that's what is the essence of this purport. Very beautiful Prabhupada writes that how such surrendered devotee, Lord guides him. One who is constantly engaged in loving devotional service, he is guided, Tesham Satata Yuktana, Jatam, and he becomes more and more grateful actually, like that purpose. And he always feels obliged to him for having achieved increased power in bhakti by his grace. So he does feel empowered. However, that power doesn't go in his head because it is not his power. And he never feels that, he knows that everyone is being empowered by Suprema. So he is completely grateful actually, he feels obliged. So actually, that's the symptom of a progressive devotee, that his gratitude is increasing towards Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. And actually, many times there are so many seminars on gratitude, and they are very nice. But the true gratitude manifests after experiencing the right vision of material world. So, true gratitude comes after experience. Right? Till then, it is a cultivation which is also important. So, you receive something from someone, then you really become grateful. Right? So, that's what. Hmm. So, he constantly feels gratitude. So, there are many important things on the gratefulness. So, there is one lecture of Swami Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Gratitude is the womb of humility. Or gratitude is the womb of all good qualities. Like that also is mentioned. Because its ungratitude is the greatest vice. Because it's a ignorant state of consciousness. Anyone who is little bit comes to truth, he will understand that millions and millions of lives that we were vimukh to the Supreme Lord, but he was constantly fulfilling our desires, facilitating them, giving them knowledge, giving us remembrance, and he was not at all expecting anything from us. So, what kind of person is this? So, that kind of gratitude, because Lord, whether one is atheist or one is devotee, everyone is maintained by the Supreme Lord because he loves every living. So, is to hearty gratitude, true preaching happens. And everything else, strategies, plans, details, facilities are secondary. So, he was saying in that lecture that actually true preaching, the fuel is the genuine gratitude to the Guru and previous acharyas. That's the substance of preaching. All other things are secondary. And that's how the expression of gratitude, he was making a very wonderful point. He was saying, through our life should be expressing gratitude as best as possible. And then how we express, how much we can do is a secondary thing. So through expression of gratitude, we make wonderful things. And we can maintain things wonderful by expressing gratitude. And we keep those people wonderful by expression of gratitude. So it's a very essential feeling for a devotee. So Prabhupada says about all Vishwanath Chakra Thakur purport that Sanak Sanatan Brahma Supta Prabuddha. So this already I said the example. So the child sometimes, if he is fearful in the dream, like the person who is fearful in the material existence. So he expects the supreme law. The child wants that mother should enter the dream and kill the tiger. But is it required? Not required, right? Because it's a dream, it's not reality. So the experiences of material world are like dream, daydream or night dream purposes. So only spiritual masters can wake us up to the reality. That this all dream. Come to reality. And that is life of gratitude. As long as one does not come to the platform of working in spiritual enlightenment, he is considered to be sleeping. Therefore, a devotee never forgets benefit derived from the Lord. So, and there are four kinds of people, right? Artha Bandhu. So, Prabhupada also quotes that Bhagavad Gita verse. The four kinds of people. So, they are Mishra Bhaktas. So, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So, these four kinds of people, when they will come to the conclusion of Vasudeva Sarvamiti after many births, they will attain the Supreme Lord. However, when they come in touch with a pure devotee, then they can attain the Supreme Lord not in so many lifetimes. Right? So that is what is Prabhupada is quoting here. So the devotee in perfect knowledge cannot forget his obligation to the Lord at any moment. So basically Prabhupada begins with the same line and here he ends with the same line except the difference is the Sharanagat Bhakta and here there is a person in perfect knowledge. So that's the meaning. Actually, a Sharanagat Bhakta knows the perfect knowledge by dint of his Sharanagati. And he's always grateful, always humble because humility takes birth in womb of gratitude is womb of humility. So actually this mode is very beautifully depicted by Uddhava. Very, very beautiful verse. Naivopayanti apachitim kavayasthavesha brahmayushapi mudasmarantah. Showing that verse. So this is, of course, this is also one nice verse, but first we'll see this verse. Naivopayanti apachitim kavayasthavesha brahmayushapi कृतमद्दमुदस्मरन्तः योऽन्तर्बहिर्तनुभृतामशुभं विधुन्वन् आचार्यचैत्यवपुषां स्वगतिं व्यनक्ति. Oh my Lord, intelligent persons cannot fully express their indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with the lifetime of Brahma. Because, so this is like gopis Krishna is telling, "Na, I can't repay you for your service." So something like that devotee feels toward the Supreme Lord. That lifetime of Brahma, I can't repay the indebtedness. Okay, why? Why? Because of remembering what you have done for them, constantly their joy goes on increasing more and right. So the state of happiness is gratitude. Brahma Yushapi Kritam Vruddha Mudah Smaranta. Constantly they become more and more joyful by remembering how much Lord is doing for them. Why? How he does? He appears externally as Guru, Acharya, Chaitya Vapusha, and internally as Paramatma. Swagatim Vyanakti. You reveal the goal of love to the devotees. So that is the consciousness. So beautifully he says, you see, those with discrimination can never become deathless in their worship. Even if they worshipped you for a lifespan of Brahma, because of on remembering what you have done, their bliss increases. So you appear and you guide. So Prabhupada is quoting this verse only, right? Dadami Buddhi Yogam. So inspiring them with the intelligence to attain you and making them worship you, you reveal them the goal of becoming an associate with love. So this is Uddhava. And there is similar verse which is spoken by Prithu Maharaj towards four Kumars. That a person who thinks that I can repay gratitude to sadhus is laughing stock in the assembly of devotees. Because who can repay for their service? The saints of unlimited mercy should always be satisfied by their acts. And they will keep on doing adabra karuna, but they can never be repaid. Same Prabhupada also was said like that. Prabhupada said, there is no question, but what do? You accept what I have given and share with others. So actually, accepting is also important, experiencing is important, and sharing is important. Sometimes we are very eager to share, and that is good eagerness. But accepting is also important. Valuing what Prabhupada is giving is important. So that's what is the state of gratitude expressed by Prathu Maharaj. So this is a very essential aspect of our day-to-day practice actually. To count how much Supreme Lord is giving, how much he is providing, how much he is facilitating, how much he is encouraging, how much the greatest thing he has given is the association of Guru and Vaishnavas and the
Hare
deed.
Krishna प्रभु जी आवाज नहीं आ रही. You are not audible.
I am not audible.
No, no, bro, it is clear, bro. It is clear.
Okay, maybe there is some like this. I am not sufficiently grateful and speaking too much about gratitude, I think. That's why. That's why. So let us go further. So the next verse, as the previous verse explained three kinds of worshippers, how they can be ungrateful to you, how can they forget you. And now he tells, my dear Lord, I am the fourth kind of fellow who is the most foolish because I desired something material from you. यह चतुर्थो अर्थार्थी भक्तो मद विधा, मेरे जैसा ये अर्थार्थी साधु अति निकृष्टो मूढ़ो, I am most foolish and most inferior among these. Iti aha. That's why he speaks this verse. And he says it is nishchitam, there is no doubt about it. Because my intelligence is cheated by Maya. So that's what he is expressing with great some repentance. He is saying this verse, as Prabhupada says in the very first line of the purport. Very beautiful verse. न्यूनं विमुष्टमतयः स्तवमाययाति ये त्वां भवाप्यय विमोक्षणमन्यहेतोः अर्चन्ति कल्पकतरुं पुनपोपभोग्य मिच्छन्ति यत्स्पर्शजं निरयेऽपि नृणाम्. Yeah. Continue to translate. Yes, who was ready? Please. Or I didn't ask. No? Someone can be.
Person who worship you simply for the sense gratification of this bag of skin are certainly influenced by your illusory energy. In spite of having you, who are like a desired tree and are the cause of liberation from birth and death, foolish persons such as me desire benediction from you for sense gratification, which is available even for those who live in hellish conditions.
So, Nunam, certainly, there is no doubt, Nishchaya se, Vimushtamataya, means my intelligence is cheated by what? Tava Maya, by your Maya. Why you are saying like that? Because those whose intelligence is cheated, they, ye tvam bhavapya vimokshanam. Actually, you have capacity to give full stop to the birth, old age, disease, death. Bhavapya vimokshanam. Ye tu. So you are the personification of apavarga. But anya hetoho archanti. That's why they are myself. He is talking about himself also. In that there is no. I worshipped you anya hetu, with other motivation. Whether you can give me the full stop to bhavapyaya. Anya hetu. What is anya hetu? What it is like? They think that you are like kalpaktaru. So surely Lord is Kalpataru, Harinam is also like that. And even Vedas are called Kalpataru. Harinam is called Chintamani. And Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani also. Right? Kalpataru means whatever Kalpataru is that under which someone comes and asks something, it gives. So even Prahlad Maharaj also compares Lord like that. So they think that they worship you as Kalpataru and they come with Anya Hetu. And Anya Hetu is for Kunape Upabhogyam. Kunapa means Kunapa Tullena Dehena Upabhogyam Sukham Icchanti. So they ask you something for their bodily pleasure, which is temporary. And he says, what is the problem in this desire? So, Icchanti Yat, they worship Archanti, they approach you with Anya Hetu, they worship you for the pleasure of body, and why they desire the pleasure which is Sparshajam, means what? Vishaya Sambandha Janyam. The Vishaya and Vishaya Vastu, touch, that pleasure they desire. And why you are saying it is Ayogya? Because it is available in even the hell, Nirayepi Nana. Hellish conditions. Yesterday only there was one verse in Kapil Shiksha. Narakasthopi deham vai pumans taktum na ichchati. So the people in Narakloka, they are getting so much of dangerous, painful treatments for their yatande. But between the problems, they have enjoyments of food, opposite sex, etc. So they want to continue there. So Narak also this sukha is there. So like that he say. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very beautifully tells further the mood of this verse. You can see. What is it? You are able to see the screen? No, no? Or it's visible? You are able to see, right? Hare Krishna?
Yes.
Yeah, you are able to see. So that's what
Lakshmi,
is. So
am I audible?
actually audible, but very less. That's why everyone's voice is coming, but very less. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Roji, I was asking that I thought in hell only misery is there, but I was surprised to hear this.
No, I'll show you that verse. I was also surprised because Kapil Muni is explaining this in the third canto, 30th chapter. So there, this very verse, no, Narakosthopi deham vai pumans taktum na ichchati. That verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that there are pleasures there also. So maybe I can show right now. That's why there are so many places it is mentioned, this kind of principle. So, see, Lord is such a person who is reforming people, right? So, there is break for them also. So, Dhanakastopi deham vai pumam. Yeah. See, you are seeing folio, so this is the verse. Narakasthopi deham vai na pumanstaktumichati. Narakyam nivritau satyam deva maya vimohitaha. Even place in hell, he does not desire to give up that body. Since bewildered by the Lord's Maya, he enjoys hellish existence. What he enjoys? The enjoyments in hell are food, association with women, and items obtained there. So there are all these things. Prabhupada also writes in purport, I think. So same thing is even Prithu Maharaj also says, Nakamayena tatadapyaham kvachin न यत्र युष्मच्चरणाम्बुजासवः महन्तमैकान्तहृदयन्मुखच्युतो Bhagavan, I think previous verse to this verse. So there he also says that, I don't desire because it is available in Naraka also. So the pleasure of senses touching sense object is available everywhere. That's the samsparshajam nirayi piman. So that is what is the meaning. So that's what he's condemning. So Prabhupada also says that Dhruva Maharaj repented because he came to the Lord with material profit. And here he condemns his attitude.
Rohit,
So
this was 3.30.5, huh? 3.30.5, is that so?
yes, bro, correct. 335. There only it is written in one line. So actually, that's why these all points we discussed, what Prabhupada is writing. So happiness derived from touch of skin, sensuous happiness is present in life of hogs and dogs. So it is very insignificant. So actually, what is this happiness? This is happiness in mode of passion. Vishaya indriya sanyogat yattad agri amritopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukam rajakam smritam. So this is the nature of happiness of passion, and mm, earth is predominantly in this mode. Then what we should be aspiring for? That is the happiness in mode of goodness. At least to begin is the cultivation. So that happiness which is cultivated by regular routine is the happiness of mode of goodness. That's why Lord says. Actually, many times this verse is quoted. Yat tadagre vishamiva, right? And it's perfectly. But there is description of happiness of goodness in the previous verse itself. So what is that? Sukham tu idanim trividham shunume bharatarshava. Hey Bharatarshava, here three kinds of happiness. Abhyasat ramate yatra dukkham cha nigacchati. So this is the beginning of sattva happiness. Abhyasat ramate. So that by which regular practice one comes to joy. Like morning program, study and seva. Regular abhyasat ramate yatra. And what happens by that? The distress is also finished. And that continues in this. That yat tadagre vishamiva. That abhyas might be vishamiva in the beginning, but eventually, as it reduces the distress, it is amritam. So the regulated practice, the striving to practice mode of goodness with the desire to practice devotional service properly. That is the goal. So that's what is told. Now, having said, condemned himself and repented, now the next verse, Lord may say to him, Sridhar Swami, Nanu Swargadi Sukham Sakamai Prapyate. Actually, those who worship me with Sakam, they attain Swarga Sukh. What will Nishkam people will attain? You are criticizing, you are saying that this all Sukhas are not important. Nishkam bhajate tan na syat iti ah. So, what is their case? Or it is Chaitanya Mata Manjusha means this is Prabhupada Saraswati, I believe. Swargadi Sukham Mad Aradhane Sati Bhavati. One can worship me and attain Swarga. Then, Kim, why you are criticizing them? Right? Previous verse criticized them, right? So why you are criticizing them? So he says that pleasure, he is comparing the pleasure. That's why he is criticizing. Actually, who can do that? He has experienced the higher pleasure. So Dhruva Maharaj is telling, is comparing the pleasure of Swarga and pleasure of Bhakti. And even he is even condemning the pleasure of the Brahmananda in the next verse. Jnanivritistanuvritam tava pada padma ध्यानाद् भवज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वास्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमन्यपिमानाथमाभूत् किं वा त्वन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्. Yeah, please read the translation.
My lord, the transcendental bliss derived from meditating upon your lotus feet or hearing about your glories from pure devotees is so unlimited that it is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda, wherein one thinks himself merged in the impersonal Brahman as one with the Supreme. Since Brahmananda is also defeated by the transcendental bliss derived from devotional service, then what to speak of the temporary blissfulness of elevating oneself to the heavenly planets, which is ended by the separating sword of time. Although one may be elevated to the heavenly planets, he falls down in due course of time.
Yeah. So Prabhupada has written purport also in the translation for making it clear the what Dhruva Maharaj is revealed. Hmm. So basically, the previous word said Bhavapyava Vimokshana Anyat. So the result of worshipping me hmm, must be merging in Brahman, because Brahman there is no Punapopabhogya happiness, right? Brahmananda is beyond the Dehananda or Samsparshaja, Vishaya Sangha Ananda, right? So that's what must be the result of worshipping me, should be merging in Brahma, right? Since it is liberation beyond birth and death, and it is not Kunapopabhogya. So, so Dhruva is replying to the Lord, though you say people desire this, but the wise never desire it at all. That's what he said. So people may desire, but the wise among the people, they will never desire the happiness of Brahman Maja. That's what is indicated in this verse. So that's why it is told, Ya Nivruti. So this Nivruti is nothing but the Param Ananda. Nivruti is the experience of bliss. Ya Nivrutis, which kind of bliss is higher? Tanu Bhuta means those who have attained the bodies. Tava Pada Padma Dhyanat, by meditating on your lotus feet. So that includes Upalakshan means meditating, serving, hearing about all that. Upalakshan means all other processes are also included. That is Pada Padma Dhyanat, Pada Padma Shravanat, Pada Padma Sevanat, and etc. Now without. Or Bhavajjana Katha Shravanena va, or hearing about your devotees, or hearing about you from your devotees. So both are there in this. So Bhavajjana Katha Shravanena va. So Shravanena includes others also. So that bliss which is given by Shravan and Kirtan and Dhyan and Navida Bhakti about your lotus feet and your devotees is far more superior. Hmm. And that much pleasure that is not given by the pleasure which is by Brahman. That is what? Sa Ma Bhut means Ya Nivruti Sa Mabhut. That pleasure is not attained by Brahman realization. What is that? Sa Brahmani. What is Brahmani? Brahmani means Lord's greatness. Lord's only greatness aspect is captured in Brahma. Right? So Swamahim, so that is defined by him. Swamahim Manyapi Natha. So of course there is experience of greatness of you in Brahman. Like we drink water and a devotee becomes grateful after drinking water because Lord is coming mercifully as taste. So that taste of water is Brahman realization. But the more important is the taste of seva and the darshan which he experienced in the verse first. Right? So that's what he is telling here. So the greatness aspect is there in Brahman, but that much pleasure is not there. Sa nivruti ma bhut. So, and although it is spiritual pleasure, but it is, as Rupa Goswami says, it is like a drop in the ocean of devotion. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So Brahmananda is like Khadodaka Sama. Then what to speak of happiness of Swarga? So that is Kaimutya. Kim tu Antakasita Lulitat Patatam Vimana. So that is The happiness of Swarga is what kind of happiness? One is enjoying very higher, refined, long-term qualities of pleasures of this world. But that pleasure is like on your head there is Tanti Talwar. And as soon as you are Shine Punya Marte Lokam Vishanti. They patatam vimanat. So again they take birth on earth. So this kind of pleasure is what is this pleasure is? It's like, the current day there is so much of struggle for existence in terms of there is great amount of salaries are there. Hmm. However, there is a great risk of any time removing from the job. So that pleasure is like that. The sword is on the head. Hmm. How can one enjoy? Even if one enjoys, it will be finished. Hmm. So that's the whole principle being told here in this particular. So here the conclusion, conclusive siddhanta in this. So every verse is concluding some siddhanta. That's what Dwadash Aditya, right? So since no other results are mentioned through Swarga and liberation, other see, below Swarga is what is there in Martyaloka, right? So all other results are not even to be talked about. So the real result of bhakti to you is bhakti to you, which is higher bliss. Thus the desireless state of the devotee and the self-manifesting nature of bhakti are shown here. So this is the bhakti. Tava bhaktir vastavam phalam. The true fruit of your bhakti is bhakti only. So that's why a practitioner of pure devotional service practices bhakti for sake of bhakti only and not for anything. And that bhakti gives self-manifested fruits. Bhakti is swataha phalatvam. Just like a mango. Prabhupada gives example of mango actually. Swataha phalatvam. And bhaktana cha nishkamatvam upapadita. So the nishkama bhaktas, the nishkamatva is indicated and swataha phalatvam is indicated. That the true result of bhakti is bhakti. Nishkam bhakta desires that. And all others can desire so many things which are given in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad. So that's what Prabhupada says. The bliss derived from bhakti cannot be compared with any other happiness of karmis, jnanis or yogis. So Prabhupada takes all of them together and explains one by one. So yogis generally meditate, but bhakta not only meditate but they engage in bhakti. So that's how Prabhupada. So here it is clearly stated that the transcendental bliss derived from Shravanam Kirtanam by pure devotees cannot be compared to Brahmananda or the impersonal conception of transcendental bliss derived by merging into absolute. So actually this happiness is awarded by Srila Prabhupada to all of us. However, we have to try to access and experience this happiness in association of perfected pure devotees because they are actually experiencing them. So, and then position of karmi is still more degraded. So, these all things are quoted, which I already said. Shine punya martya lokam mishanti. So, those who Dhruva Maharaj appreciated that the results of devotional service are far more valuable than merging into Brahman. So, patatam vimana. Those who are elevated to heavenly planets are like airplanes which drop when they run out of fuel. So, very interesting analogy he gives. So, this is what happened to the people who are visitors of Swarga. Like Prabhupada said once, this was quoted by whom? Recently, many devotees, you must have heard this, that, uh, yeah, I think Rukmini Krishna Prabhu was quoting the Maharaj who stayed in Delhi, that Prabhupada said that many of the followers may go to Swarga. Why? Because of the material aspirations. So that actually person who practices bhakti is more powerful than karma kandi. So Kshine Punya Marta Lokam Vishanti doesn't happen for them. Because they don't go there by punya, they go there by bhakti. So Baldev Vidyabhushan explains that these devotees in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that they go there, and because, so those who have distracted because of material desires in the beginning stages, so what happens? Prapya punya kritam lokam ushitva shashvatim samaha suchimam shimatam gehe yogo bhrashto vijayate. So they will go there for getting fulfilled their desires. And there they will stay there till they get disgusted with them. Because they have not gone by karma kanda. So Kshine Punya doesn't apply for that. They will be there till the time they are disgusted with that. And once they are disgusted, Nirvinnam Nitaram Bhuman Asad Indriya Tarshana. Like Devoti. Then I want to practice devotional service. And then they come to Suchinam and Shrimata. And the second category people who are almost towards the end, so they immediately take birth in Dhimatam and Yoginam. So that is what is said here, right?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
is there a reference for this? Because, like,
I
that
did
we.
give just now the reference, right? Should I show it? So I will show it. This is 6 point.
Yeah.
प्रभु जी लकीली क्या होता लास्ट टाइम अभी लास्ट संडे हमारी भक्ति वृक्षा क्लास थी इवनिंग में तो हमने
Okay.
सेम चीज पढ़ी थी मतलब प्रभु जी ने सेम चीज बताई थी कि जितने भी डिवोटीज है विद सकाम कर मतलब मोस्टली ज्यादातर ना मतलब सकाम उसमें ही जाएंगे
कौन से प्रभु जी बोल रहे थे माता जी?
प्रभु जी एक्चुअली हमने भक्ति वृक्षा क्लास में पढ़ाया था कि मतलब शायद गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज जी ने ही बोला था कि पता नहीं किसने बोला था शायद
हाँ
प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला था कि मतलब ना जितने
हाँ
जितने डिवोटीज है विद सकाम जिनकी
yes,
डिजायर्स है वो सबके सब मतलब स्वर्ग
बिल्कुल
लोक वगैरह और उन्हें उधर जाएंगे मतलब
yes yes
मोस्ट ऑफ
yes.
देम एक्चुअली
Yeah, so I'm just showing. Yeah,
प्रभु
see.
जी आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन
Just a minute, let me show the reference. Thank you for corroborating it, but still I have to show the reference for Ram Kishore Prabhu also. So there are two references, Prabhupada's letter as well as the Baldev Vidyabhushan's purport. So Prabhupada wrote letter to whom posthumously, the great, now this is a very good season to remember that Prabhupada disciple. Who is that disciple of Prabhupada? Whom Prabhupada wrote letter? Yeah, so you can see here. Yeah. Becoming lax in performance of dharma because of material desires, he attains and enjoys the desirable objects, the worlds of those who offer horse sacrifices, through the power of execution of his nishkama dharma, naming the Atma. Staying on those planets as many years, enjoying until his desire of enjoyment ceases, that fallen yogi, with no more desires, going from those planets is born into wealthy person and engages in dharma, right? Suchinam Shrimatam. So this is direct reference 6.41. And more powerful is Bhagavad letter of Srila Prabhupada to our this, no? Uh, so who is famous Prabhupada disciple in current Jagannath Rath Yatra festivals? Yes, who is that?
Jayananda Prabhu. Jayananda Prabhu.
So Prabhupada, he left the body and Prabhupada wrote the letter. And in that he writes this. I'm just opening that letter for. Till that time, yes, Mataji, you can express your what you wanted to express.
प्रभु जी एक्चुअली माय क्वेश्चन इज जैसे अभी मतलब जितने भी मतलब डिवोटीज विद सकाम कर आई मीन विद डिजायर हैं जिनकी भी तो वो मतलब जो ब्रह्म लोक से नीचे वाले लोग हैं प्रभु जी वहां पे तो मतलब योग वगैरह और कर सकते तो उन लोगों में भी जाते हैं क्या डिवोटीज
कौन से लोगों में बोल रहे हैं आप?
प्रभु जी जो ब्रह्म लोक और तपोलोक वगैरह ऐसे वाले जो लोग होते हैं
Actually, no. Prabhupada, see Prabhupada, what Prabhupada is saying. Actually, you go what you desire. Actually, that's the point. Power of bhakti is so that it will fulfill your desire.
Hmm.
So, Prabhu, please read this letter. I am feeling very intense. You can read, Ramkishore. Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. I am feeling very intensely your separation. In 1967, you joined me in San Francisco. You were driving my car and chanting Hare Krishna. You were the first man to give me some contribution, $5,000, for printing my Bhagavad Gita. After that, you have rendered very favorable services to Krishna in many different ways. I so hope at the time of your death you were remembering Krishna, and as such, you have been promoted to the eternal association of Krishna. If not, if you had any tinge of material desire, you have gone to the celestial kingdom to live with the demigods for many thousands of years and enjoy the most opulent life of material existence. From there, you can promote yourself to the spiritual world. But even if one fails to promote himself to the spiritual world, at that time he comes down again on the surface of this globe and takes birth in a big family like yogis or a brahmana or an aristocratic family where there is again chance of reviving Krishna consciousness. But as you were hearing Krishna Kirtana, I am sure that you were directly promoted to Krishna Loka. Quotation Bhagavad Gita 4.9 Janma Karma Chame Divyam. Krishna has done a great favor to you not to continue your deceased body and has given you a suitable place for your worship. Thank you very much. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, ACBS TKG.
Yeah. So, Prabhupada adds one more point here. Of course, one can see he becomes disgusted there and then he can practice bhakti and go, but it's not easy to practice. So, he can come down also. It depends on what he can do. So, this is what is told here, Prabhu. So, that is what
Thank you.
is.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the reference. Thank you. It will be very helpful for us also.
Yes, bro. So it's very important to aspire to practice pure devotional service. Because to practice pure devotional service, minimum nishtha stage is required. So aspiration is from Adav Shraddha to end of Anartha Nivritti. So that's what Prabhupada says in 9.3 actually. So, so Mataji, your is also clarified, right? So Brahma Lok, Jana Lok, Tapalok. So there are certain things when one goes there. So the sadhana and sadhya is very important to actually reflect because bhakti, chanting Hare Krishna, one can go to different destinations also based on what are his aspirations. So because Hare Krishna is very powerful actually. It's Harinam Chintamani. Right? So sometimes I fear actually. This feedback is very powerful. So we have to be very carefully observing and working on. Just as he is repenting, Dhruva Maharaj, so we can also repent and we have at least I have so many material desires. And if they are minimizing, if we see some sense objects, again it awakens. So there is so much of distraction in the world. But we can
Prabhuji,
pray to the Supreme.
a very important question like how to avoid Swarga, Prabhuji? Because material desires are there. So, what is the key to avoid the detour so many years?
Yeah, so that's the next verse, Prabhu. That is the next verse.
Please elaborate. Thank you.
So the Dhruva Maharaj is giving us the answer that is association of those devotees who are relishing the fragrance of Lord's lotus feet. Hmm. So such association, then one can live among the family, but he will not be attached. Like that is the next verse. Hmm. That's what he is telling. So let us see that verse first. It's a very beautiful verse. Hmm. Oh, sorry. I told you. Now next verse is the his aspiration, and the 12th verse is that too. So 11th verse is his desire, and 12th verse is what I now said. So basically, both verses are desiring that one. The solution is that only. Praying for the association of pure devotees, perfected pure devotees, and becoming detached, rather, becoming unattached to the things of this world while being with them. That's the meaning of 11th and 12th. So let us see that. So Shridhar Swami is saying, Atah te katha shravanaya satsangam dehi iti ah. So that's why now he is saying that previous verse he said na, that pleasure which is experienced in hearing and chanting and meditating on your lotus feet is higher. So now he is saying, give me that pleasure of katha shravan. And that, where it happens? Satsangam. So katha shravanaya satsangam dehi. Itya. For the purpose of Hari Katha, give me satsanga. That is what is he saying in the next beautiful verse, which is the glory of Bhagavatam, which we recite. Bhaktim moho prahvatam tvai me prasango भूयादनन्तमहताम् अमलाशयानां हीनाञ्जसोल्बणवृव्यसनं भवाब्धिं निःशेभवद्गणकथामृतपानमत्तः. Yeah, please read translation.
O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly, as the wave of a river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes which are eternally existent.
So here he is telling his desire. My dear Lord, may prasango bhuyat. Give me prakrushta rupena sangha. Let it happen. He's not even saying give me. Give me is like a demand. He's saying let it happen, because it requires mercy of Lord. It is not a request or demand. The prakrushta rupena sangha of his devotees, let it happen. Prasango bhuyat. May prasango bhuyat. Okay, what kind of prasanga, what kind of intense association you want, which kind of devotees? Tvai bhakti moho pravahata. Your bhakti is constantly flowing in their heart. And they are mahatam, they are very, very great souls. They are broad-minded. Vistirana gada manasa. Very, very broad mind and very deep heart. And they are pure-hearted souls. Amalashaya. Give me their intense association. Because they are constantly engaged in your bhakti. Pravahatam means satatyena kurvatam. 20, Prabhupada writes 24/7. So why don't you ask for moksha, Prabhu? In the material world, there is so much of problem. So he says, so Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says very beautifully, I will show you. Here it is. So here it is said that why don't you desire for moksha? So he is saying, Yena mahat prasangena anjasa atyanta eva varuni vyasanam yasmintam. Neshye means I can easily cross over. Means what Vishwanath says is, Tatra satopam sa bhuja sphotam. Means what? He is speaking with great confidence, and like this you do, na? Like this you do, that bhuja sphotam. So he is saying to the Lord that, with that strength of their association, I will cross over the material ocean of material existence, which is full of ulbanam, very, very great, miseries. There is nothing impossible for me. So like that he's saying, let us see. I will fight, like that he's saying. Because why? I am drunk. I am Panamatta. This same. Bhavat Guna Katha Mrita Panamatta. Because when I will get that Sangha of such pure devotees, I will hear Hari Katha and I will be drunk. I will be drunk in that Harinam and Harikatha. Their qualities and pastimes and names all. Hmm? And when I am drunk, a drunken person is not affected by the external, whatever is happening around him. So the material world is characterized by three things: spardha, avagya, and dvesha, adyayaha. So the competition or spardha, avagya is disrespect or rivalry, ignorance, and hatred. Spardha, avagya. Avagya is actually not ignorance, it is negligence, or it is indifference. Avagya, or looking down. Spardha, avagya, and dvesha. This is the nature of material world. Samsarika dharma. Mattam dukkhaitum na shaknumati. Because I am drunk, I will not be affected by this samsaric dharmas, where there is competition and rivalry and indifference and negligence and hatred. I will not get affected by that. Even death, what to speak of that? I will not even be touched by the fear of death because I am drinking the Amrita. Katha Amrita. Panamatta is drunk, but Amrita means it takes you beyond Mrityu. So that is what is his confidence actually. See, he has received this mercy from Narada. So he is revealing to us. So here is very, very important statement is there. Atra sat sangothaiva bhaktya bhagvantam sakshatkrityapi punah satsangaya prarthanat. Means what? By association of satsanga only, he has received the darshan of Lord. Bhagvantam sakshatkara punaha satsanga prarthana. In front of Lord also, he is asking for the same association by which he got darshan of Lord. So this, what it shows, is a very, very profound siddhanta. That bhakti karanam api, bhakti phalam api, swayam bhaktirapi satsanga iti. Means the association of pure devotees, prasanga, is cause of pure bhakti, it is fruit of pure bhakti, and it is pure bhakti. Iti bhaktanam matam yanjitam. This is the conclusion given by devotees. So this is the profound siddhanta which is established by Dhruva Maharaj in this particular verse. So Prabhupada very beautifully writes the purport. Very nice statement. You can see the same things are fluffed by Prabhupada in so beautiful way. So he wanted the significant point that Dhruva Maharaj statement that he wanted association of pure devotees. Transcendental devotional service cannot be complete. Means one cannot reach the end. And while reaching the end cannot be relishable without the association of such devotees. And that is the purpose of ISKCON. We have therefore established ISKCON. Anyone who is trying to be aloof from Krishna consciousness, yet engage in bhakti, is living in a great hallucination, or this is not possible. So we have to learn to associate with devotees properly, where we can relish our practice of bhakti and be confident that we will attain the end result. And that can happen in prasanga only. That's what is the purpose of ISKCON, and we should be focused on the purpose and not get allured and distracted and deviated by the millions of distractions which come in this world due to so many things. So from the statement of Dhruva Maharaj, it is clear that unless one is associated with devotees, his devotional service does not mature. This is one thing, and does not become distinct from material activities. So this is a very deep statement that one may practice devotional activities, but without this prasanga, it will not be distinct from material activities. Prabhupada is right. Because there is no maturity in that. Hmm? Right? And then he quotes a brilliant verse. Satam prasangat mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha. So this is another essential teaching of entire Srimad Bhagavatam given by Kapil Muni. Only in the association of pure devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and relishable to the heart and the ear. So this is what is the case. So this verse purport is very important. Siddhanta is told by Vishwanath there. So I will just want to show that. So what he says is, if we have Utkrushta Prasanga, then we will cross Anartha Nivrutti. The Katha will make us cross Anartha Nivrutti, and then Katha will make us reach Nishtha, and that Katha will take us to love of God. But if we have Apakrishta Sangha, the inferior association, then there is only Bhajana Kriya. So you can say the stages are described here. Yeah, so you can see here. This is what I am trying to say. So excellent association of devotees, the stories of my pastime become the nectar for years. And thus from excellent association, stories cause anartha nivritti. The stories are causing anartha nivritti. Then stories cause nishtha, right? But from inferior association, there is only bhajan kriya. But the stories do not become nectar. So this is what Srila Prabhupada is telling in the purport here. In one line, he is capturing the whole thing which I just now showed you. Only in association of pure devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and relishable to heart and the ear. So it is no more official formality, but it's a right experience of the potency and the relish. So that's what he explicitly wanted, that kind of association. And what kind of devotees? Then he says Pravahata means these devotees are constantly 24 by 7 engaged in Krishna service of Krishna. And that incessant flow of devotional service is Pravahata. There is a flow. Right? So, but the Mayavedi will ask, Hare, what about you may be very happy in association of bhaktas, but what about the crossing the ocean of material existence? Mayavadi will ask like that. Prabhupada is putting words in Mayavadi. Then Dhruva will say like this, let us see. I am completely absorbed. If one simply becomes mad to hear the glories of Lord, then he is not affected by this. One who is addicted to this process. So this is what Bhagavad Guna Katha. For anyone who is persistently engages in hearing the topics of Lord from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and who is actually addicted to this process. So this is what should be our goal. That let us become addicted, actually addicted to Shravan and Kirtan of Gita, Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the best is the sequence, the way Prabhupada is giving. Just as one becomes addicted to intoxications, it is very easy to cross over nation of material existence. Like that. And then he tells what Vishwanath already said. The cause of bhakti, the result of bhakti and bhakti is the prasanga. So that's what he is writing here. You can see, you can read. And he tells us about Golok Vrindavan also. Although Dhruva Maharaj is not in this context thinking about Golok, but Prabhupada is the Vrajvasi and he wants all of us to go to Golok. So that's why he's saying, by devotional service only one can be elevated to transcendental planet of Golok Vrindavan. And there also there is only devotional service. Because what is there? There also they are discussing what Krishna did today. That's what they do whole day. There is nothing else. For the activities of devotional service, both in this world and the spiritual world, are one and same. It's prasanga. So devotional service does not change. Then he gives this beautiful example of mango. So there is unripe mango and there is a ripe mango. The same mango becomes ripe, right? Provided he is connected, provided he is, we can say here, extrapolating that nowadays they pick up mango before only. for the sake of selling, and they use the artificial methods to ripen the mango. And so that mango is harmful, right? So that mango is which is in connection with pure devotees. That is really healthy, tasteful, and relishable. Right? So that's what Prabhupada is telling. Devotional service performed according to direction of Guru and injunction of principles of Shastra. That there is devotional service in spiritual world rendered directly in association. So both are same. But the difference is that one stage is unripe and another stage is ripe and more relishable. It is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees. So actually, this goes to tell us one more principle, that it is not that we just means the goal is to associate with pure devotees. Hmm? But the pure devotees association can be more relished when we are with other devotees, right? So this was told by one great, I think Maharaj is here only. He was telling in Kunj Bihari temple, that the devotee associates with all three kinds of devotees and he experiences that relish more, right? So that's the goal. So without the unripe mango eating and associating, then ripe mango will not give so much of appreciation, right? So like that. So that's how the last line is saying. Only in association of devotees, the devotional service can mature. And that Sangha, the science of that Sangha is told in Upadeshamrit. How to associate, what to do, what should be the motivation, what should be the goal. So this is the science actually, which is told. So having said that, now Kathamrita Panasya Madakatva. So how he is drunken, he is telling in the next verse. Te nasmaranti atitaram priyamishamartyam ye chandavah sutasuragrhavittadaraha ye tvabjanabhavadiyapadaravindam saugandalubdardayeshu krita prasanga. Yeah, now someone else can read who was not read. You can read.
O Lord, you have a lotus memory. If a person happens to associate with a devotee whose heart always hankers after your lotus feet, if he is always wear fragrance, he is never attached to the material body or in a bodily relationship to offspring, friends, home, wealth, and wives, which are very, very dear to materialistic persons. Indeed, he does not care for them.
Yeah. So here, what he is telling, what is the madness of the Kathamrita Pan, Madakatva. So anyone such drunkard is there, and even a person associate with the drunkard, he will become non-attached from his Sutta, Sudada, Gruha, with Dara. That's what. Actually, to give Aham and Mama is the goal of Krishna conscious practice. And to develop right Ahamta and Mamata, that I am Krishna's and Krishna is mine. So this kind of giving up is very important, but it is not that we just give up the family, by that we give up the Ahamta and Mamata. Not necessary. Because actually, eventually, we have to all become grihasthas. So this is what actually Param Pujya Bhakti Charu Maharaj was giving Brahmachari class to all of us here in NVCC. When NVCC opened, he had come. And the first statement in Brahmachari class, he said that all of us have to eventually become grihasthas. You know? Why? Because there is no sannyasi or no brahmachari in Golok Vrindavan. It's all family members, but centered around Krishna. But what is their ahanta and mamata? That is in relation to Krishna. So those who are absorbed like that, their association is very powerful. That is what is told here in this word. Tena smaranti. They will not remember. Who will not remember? What they will not remember first will see. Atitaram priyamisha martyam. Very difficult to forget the body which is very dear to him, and that which is connected to body. Children, his relatives, friends, house, wife, they don't remember. Who don't remember? Ye. Tena smaranti ye krutah prasanga. Those devotees who are living in family life with all these things, or those renunciates who are living in the subtle family life of their body and all that, they will not remember that body and things related to body when they will do prasanga. Ye krita prasanga. Okay, they do intensely associate with devotees. Which kind of devotees? ये तू अब्जनाभ हे लोटस नेवल लॉर्ड भवदीय पादार विंद सौगंध लुब्ध हृदयेषु. So those devotees association who have smelled the fragrance of the your lotus feet, my dear lotus navel lord, that kind of association, if one gets, then he will not remember all these things. So that is the influence of a drunkard. By associating with drunkard, we will also start becoming drunkard. And then we will not remember this. That's the meaning of this verse. So that's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said. Right? So you can see. But because of the presence of identity with me and mine, it's very difficult to avoid disturbance. No. So these devotees don't make arrangements for this body. So that's what is this verse. So from these verses, it is understood that the destruction of samsara is a secondary effect of bhakti, unsought by the devotees. So anushangik phal of bhakti is becoming unattached to samsara. So actually, bhakta is not attached, bhakta is not detached. Bhakta is unattached. So now Maharaj has come here from the Bhakti Brihad Bhagavat Maharaj. So he was sharing in one Bhagavatam class previously. Very beautiful point that actually devotee is not attached like Karmi and not detached like Jnani, but he's unattached because he's attached to Krishna. Unattached means what? He was giving example of Srila Prabhupada visiting his quarters in Juhu with great, with great eagerness. He wanted to have that quarter be ready, right, in Juhu. And it was not getting ready. The Prabhupada was giving them sermons that, I will not go in the temple. So they got it ready. And when Prabhupada entered there, and actually that quarter is constructed with so much of affection and love of disciples that the best of the things are there in the quarter. The best of the place, the entire floor is Prabhupada quarter, all sides. And the best of the woods, best of the furniture, best of the flooring, and best of the places for everything. There is a writing room, there is a sleeping room, there is a kitchen, there is meeting room, there is outside servant room, everything is there. So when Prabhupada entered and he was watching and he was smiling and he saw these three rooms and he commented, this is similar to my Radha Damodar temple. So this is Prabhupada. He is seeing such opulent house, but for him that Radha Damodar also had that one room for writing, other room for the cooking, right? Where you can see the Rup Goswami's house. So this is called unattached. So he was traveling in car and he was with Parampuja Gaur Govind Maharaj going in bullock cart, staying in a small hut. So this is called unattached. Sometimes he got so much opulent things, sometimes he doesn't. So it doesn't matter. He was completely attached to Krishna and service to Krishna and service to his Guru. So he becomes unattached to samsara. So even if he is in family life, doesn't matter because Vrajvasi is family life only. So Yavan Nate, no, that verse Brahmaji says, no, beautiful verse. तावद् रागादयस्तेनस् तावत् कारागृहं गृहं तावंग मोह अंग्रि निगड़ो यावन नते कृष्ण जना. So some sannyasi may object Brahmaji that why you are glorifying Vrajvasis with five mouths, Aho ati danya Vrajago ramanya and Aho, so many Aho are there in his prayers, 10th canto, 14th chapter. So some renunciate may say, "Arey, why you are glorifying these people who are so much attached to their household life? This is my dear Prabhu, they are accepted Krishna as their own. Hmm. So for them, their household life is Krishna centered. They are Krishna's people. But for other so-called Grihamaidis, what happens? Tavad raga dayastenas. Their affectionate relationships are what? They are thieves. Tavat raga dayastenas. Tavat kara griham griham. The house is like a jail. And tavad moha angri nigado. The relationships and based on bodily consciousness are like the foot shackles for them. But not for the people who are belonging to Krishna. And these people belong to Krishna. So Prabhupada says that we also can become family member of Krishna, and then our family becomes Krishna's family, and he takes care of our family, right? So that is what is the feeling here of a person. It doesn't mean that he becomes irresponsible, but he becomes unattached. That's the point here. So Prabhupada says that only. The special advantage in bhakti is that bhakti not only one enjoy the transcendental pastimes of Lord by Shravanam and Kirtan, but also not very much attached to their bodies, unlike yogis. So he punches on yogis also. Although Dhruva Maharaj is not saying, because yogis are attached to body. So they will do yam, niyam, asan, pranayam. So they do gymnastic exercise, but devotees, they will be engaged in Krishna's service. From the very beginning, therefore, without wasting time in bodily exercise, a devotee searches out a pure devotee and simply by his associations becomes more and more advanced in spiritual consciousness than a yogi. So this is our responsibility, Prabhu. So this seeking out, searching out and associating is what we should be doing. And that's what the Kapil Muni also tells Devahuti the same thing. तये साधव साध्वी सर्वसंग विवर्जिता अथ ते संगः प्रार्थ्य संग दोष हराहित. So prarthya means one should pray for, seek for, search out and associate. And by that we can advancement. So thus the status of life is possible only when a person is interested in associating with a pure devotee. So this should be our hunger. This should be our cultivation. And are we feeling some kind of feeling towards some pure devotees who visit? Actually, by grace of Radhesham Prabhu here in Pune, so many great souls keeps on coming here. Right? So we need to connect actually. We should connect, we should invite, we should serve, we should inquire, we should hear and become interested in their association. Who always enjoys the fragrance of lotus feet of Lord. So what is this fragrance actually? So this fragrance is spoken by Prithu Maharaj. This fragrance is nothing but the Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela of the Supreme Lord. So that's what. So that's what is this. So such people we should be searching for. So having said that, now Lord may ask him that you are praying like Vidwan. Nanu evam Vidwan api tvam kim abhimanam vah vahasyata aha. So why you are praying before for material benefit if you are so much Vidwan, so much clear about the tattva? Why you had false ego earlier and you asked for material benefit? So he says in three verses actually. Shri Vishwanath Thakur will say. If this is say, then you know, right? Then why did you worship the Lord with the desire for position greater than that attained by your forefathers? So he replies in three verses. So he says, my dear Lord, I was a child, I was ignorant, I didn't knew. What I knew was the only material world which exists, which is your expansion only. Hmm. So I was ignorant, I was innocent, that's why I desired. Hmm. So he is telling now in this particular verse. तिर्यन्नगद्विजसरिसृपदेव दैत्य मर्त्याभिः परिचितं सदशेद्यविशेषं रूपं स्थविष्ठमजते महदाद्यनेकं नातः परं परमवेद्मि न यत्र वादः. Yeah, please translate.
My dear Lord, O Supreme Unborn, I know that the different varieties of living entities, such as animals, trees, birds, reptiles, demigods, and human beings, are spread throughout the universe, which is caused by the total material energy. And I know that they are sometimes manifest and sometimes unmanifest. But I have never experienced the supreme form I behold as I see you now. Now all kinds of methods of theorizing have come to an end.
Yeah. So that's what I knew you as this material world, as Virat Roop, and so many other forms, Tiriyak, right? So that's what I knew. So he's very honestly expressing, Natah param parama vedmi. I didn't knew this form of yours. I knew your form of Virat Roop. I knew your form of Mahadadi, 24 elements. They are all your, and that's what I was looking for in this world. So I didn't knew my Lord. But now I am clear. Nayatravada. So now I am very clear about all this. So that's how he is clarifying his stance here. He speaks in the present verse. So present tense means what? There is word used, vada. Means what? Just until the present time. So I didn't know your form of consciousness and bliss, which is non-material, param, beyond the universal. I just knew all these things only. Because I am ignorant, being a child, I thought only of insignificant things. So, like that, he is saying. Now, however, being touched by your conch, I have understood the meaning of all the Vedas. Therefore, I offer my respects to you. So, that's how he is offering his respect. So, Prabhupada elaborates on that part, that how Golokayeva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuta. So Lord is aloof from the material world. Although material world is Lord, but still Lord is aloof from material. So although everything is resting upon him, he is aloof. So that he says here. So one cannot understand these facts without bhakti. Bhaktyayam, bhaktyamam abhijanat. So he compares, like we already discussed this, his previous state of understanding and present perfection. So position of, so Prabhupada elaborates that servitude is either one serves material world or he serves the supreme, because servitude is eternal. Dhruva Maharaj here admits that not only was he ignorant, but by years he was only a child. I would not have been possible for ignorant child to appreciate the Supreme Lord. So the form of the Lord had he not been blessed by the Lord, who had touched his conscience to his forehead. So having expressed that, now Lord is testing him. Now you may know me. Tvam aham parikshise. I will take exam of you. Now you tell me who am I now? Ko aham iti kathaya. So now he is telling in the three verses the deep understanding of Supreme Lord and his form in the material world, the Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. And different. So three verses he is telling the truth about the Supreme Lord. Right? कल्पान्त एतदखिलं जठनेन गृह्णन् शीते पुमान् स्वदृग्गतन्तसखस्त्वदङ्के यन्नाभिसिन्धुरुह काञ्चनपुलोकपद्मं गर्भेद्युमान् भगवते प्रणतोऽस्मि तस्मै. Please read.
My dear Lord, at the end of each millennium, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, dissolves everything manifested within the universe into his belly. He lies down on the lap of Shekna. From his navel sprouts a golden lotus flower on a stem, and on that lotus Lord Brahma is created. I can understand that you are the same Supreme Godhead. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
So this verse is telling the Paramatma feature of Lord. Paramatma means Lord of material world, controller of material world. That is Antaryami. There are three. Garbhodakshai, Shirodakshai and Karanodakshai. So he is telling very clearly the Paramatma feature here. And he is saying that you are that same Bhagavan whose expansion is Paramatma. Right? So that's what. So Prabhupada begins the purport with the same feeling. Yasmin jnate sarvameva vidnyatam bhavanti. Dhruva Maharaja's understanding of Lord is complete. Right? So that is what is told. So he quotes Brahma Samhita, Yasyaika Nishvasiyata, etc. And how one can understand. Only non-devotees cannot understand the different forms of Vishnu, and they will argue, how can a flower stem sprout from navel of Vishnu? So they say this is all stories, this is all mythology. As a result of their inexperience in absolute truth, their reluctance to accept the authority, they become more and more atheistic. They cannot understand God. But Dhruva Maharaj could clearly understand. Just like the story of cobbler and a Brahman, right? That takes even more faith to accept it. But the cobbler could understand. So now, Nanu Mamapi Shayanadi, you are telling I sleep, right? The previous verse you said I am lying down and Brahmaji is born from navel. So I am sleeping. Jiva also sleeps. I am also sleeping. So is there any difference between Lord and me? Jiva and the Lord? So this is a beautiful verse which enlists all the possible differences in Jiva and the Supreme Lord very clearly. So there is no confusion. Paratma Nirnaya, right? So very beautifully he says all the differences whichever exist. From Nityamukta Parishuddha Vibhuddha Atma Kutastha Adi Purusho Bhagavan Stradhisha Yadbuddhayavasthitamachanditaya Swadrishtya Drashtasthitavadhimakho Vyatirikta Asya. Please read.
My Lord, by your unbroken transcendental glance, you are the supreme witness of all stages of intellectual activity. You are eternally liberated. Your existence is situated in pure goodness, and you are existent in the super soul without change. You are the original personality of Godhead, full with six opulences, and you are eternally the master of the three modes of material nature. Thus, you are always different from the ordinary living entity. As Lord Vishnu, you maintain all the affairs of the entire universe, and yet you stand aloof and are the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices.
Yeah. So he's resting all the differences. How am I different from Jivas if I also go to sleep? So actually Srishti Leela is sleeping pastime of Lord, where living entities are sleeping on lap of Maya. Right? It's a Ras Leela of the conditioned souls. Srishti Leela. So we have to get up from that. So by hearing the Srishti Leela, we can get up. By the hearing the pastime of Lord's sleep. So what are the differences you can see here? So you are eternally liberated, Jiva becomes slippery. You are completely pure, Jiva is contaminated. You are omniscient, Jiva has little knowledge. You are Atma, the Jiva has a bodily covering. You are without change, Jiva is changeable. You extend all over time in one form, Jiva takes many forms over the time. You are the cause with the form of Purusha. Jiva is not the cause and has a form of woman, man, etc. So you are a Purusha, right? That's the thing. You are Bhagavan, Jiva is without any opulences, good qualities, Bhaga. You are master of three gunas, Jiva is controlled by three gunas. You are stable in intelligence, Jiva's intelligence is subjected to three states. Jagrati, Swapna, Sushupti. You are continuous witness by Chit Shakti, Jiva is disrupted vision because his intelligence undergoes these three states. You are situated in action to maintain the universe, Jiva cannot even maintain himself. You preside over sacrifices, Jiva dependent on sacrifice. Therefore, you are different from Jiva. I know that your activities such as sleeping are actions of your Chit Shakti. So this is his pastime. Okay? So Prabhupada elaborates these points more and more in his purport. Can you see? Even everyone therefore should engage himself in bhakti to the Lord with his life, his riches, his intelligence, and his words. This is the original position of living. So that's what he says. Pranaya arthaya diyavaj. Now, having said Savishesham Bhagavat Swarupam. So he told about Paramatma and Bhagwan. Now he tells about Nirvishesh Brahma also. So this is his complete understanding of Supreme Lord. Yasmin viruddhagatayo yanisham patanti vidyadayo vividashaktayānupurvyāt tadbrahma vishvabhavane kamanantamadyam anandamatrakamira vikaramaham prapadye.
My dear Lord, in your impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continuously manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited, and blissful, is the cause of the material manifestation. Because you are the same impersonal Brahman, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Yeah. So here what he's telling, there are three levels of understanding absolute truth. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So Brahman is told specifically. So one who has Viruddha Gatayo. Viruddha Gati means he has energies which act in opposite ways. So that is Atincha Shakti. Vidyadayo Vividha Shakti Anupuriyat. But as one goes closer to the mountain, he starts knowing the mountain in detail, right? This example of Srila Prabhupada is given in this very purport by Prabhupada and Vishwanath Chakravarti. That something you see from far, like a train, you will see in the night only light. Then it comes closer, you will understand there is engine. And more closer, you can enter into the train, right? So, like that, that's what Anupurvyat. So that Brahma is being explained here, and its qualities are there. Vishwam, Anandamatram, Avikaram, etc. Niraham, etc. So that purport can be read. The important thing is the last example. So this example is given by Vishwanath Chakravarti, and Prabhupada quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti, which all of us know this example. Right? So Dhuvar Maharaj therefore offered respectful obeisances unto impersonal feature, because he knew that it is Lord's feature only. So Brahman manifestation is explained here. So for Gyan Mishra Bhaktas, this is interest. But they are not so advanced to understand personal feature. But Dhruva Maharaj as a child is able to understand this. That's what Prabhupada is saying here. And then last part, he says this Anupuriyat, gradually one advances. He is in Avidya, little advanced, then Jnani, little advanced, Gyan Mishra Bhakta. Little advanced, he becomes pure devotee. So like that, devotees are who still further advance in full knowledge and understand the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Only on that platform can one fully enjoy the bliss. So this example is there. Approaching a hill or city from a distance. More you go closer. So Brahman is the distant understanding of Lord. More you go closer, Paramatma, more closest Bhagwan and enjoy with Bhagavan, especially in Golok. So now, having said that, now this is a beautiful verse to end. So what Dhruva Maharaj is asked by Lord, oh young boy, it is true. You understand my Swarupa. Though now you are without material desires, I will give you the result that you previously were determined to achieve. So Lord is telling him, and my dear young boy, you have understood my Swarupa very nicely. And now I am willing to give you what you desired in the beginning. And hearing that, Dhruva Maharaj is feeling very, very repentant, and he is describing his ignorance. And he is praying for sweetness of love. Because ignorance means what he desired something in the material world. A very beautiful verse, which we will talk our discussion today. Satyashusho hi Bhagavan stava pada padma आशिस्तथानुभजतः पुरुषार्थमूर्तेः अप्येवमर्य भगवान् परिपाति दीनान् वाश्रेव वत्सकनुग्रहकातरोऽस्मान्. Yeah, easy.
Lord, O Supreme Lord, you are the supreme personified form of all benediction. Therefore, for one who abides in your devotional service with no other desire, worshipping your lotus feet is better than becoming king and lording it over the king. That is the benediction of worshipping your lotus feet. To ignorant devotees like me, you are the causelessly merciful maintainer, just like a cow who takes care of her newly born calf by supplying milk and giving it protection from fatty.
Yeah. So Prabhupada has given very beautiful purport in the translation on it. So what is the mood of this verse? This is a very beautiful prayer actually to do. So what he is saying, Vasreva Vatsaka Anugraha Katarosma. My dear Lord, you are like a cow who is always eager to bestow the mercy on calf, what your calf does. So calf is protected from the wild animals by the cow. Not only that, calf is given nourishment by the cow by the milk. Not only that, calf is even cleaned by licking by the mother. So similarly, you are like that. Now you please protect me from my material desires, which may awaken in my heart. So see, this is what he's saying. You can see here. Please, the Lord is like cow who makes the ignorant calf drink milk, even though the calf does not serve the cow. Right? But still milk is given. So Dhruva Maharaj is feeling that I have not served the Supreme Lord, but he is giving me the milk of the taste of devotional service. That is the milk he is giving me. And who protects the calf? So the first thing is who makes the ignorant calf drink milk. Second is although calf doesn't serve the cow, and who protects the calf from wild animals like wolves. Similarly, the Lord should let me have the taste of sweetness of bhakti at his lotus feet and protect me from the obstacles to bhakti in form of material desires. So that is the mood in which he is using this analogy of Bhakta Vatsa. So the meaning of Vatsa is this one, Bhakta Vatsa. So very beautifully it is told here. So he is saying that, my dear Lord, you have given me, although I came to you with material desire, you are Purushartha Murti, means what? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Everything you give. Purushartha Murti is your personification of all blessings. But still you have given me the taste of your bhakti. And you are maintaining a person who is wretched like me, who has material desires. And you have given milk of giving me little taste for your lotus feet. See, this is what he is saying. But Lord maintains even wretched person. Paripati Dina. Right? Apeva Marya Apieva. Although you are Purushartha Murti, you Bhagwan, you Paripati Dinan. The Dinas like me, wretched persons like us, who worship you by desires. Still you give them little sweetness of your lotus feet, obtained by worship without desire. Okay, why you give that? Because Anugraha Kataram. You are very eager to give mercy. So that's how Lord is thinking. He's saying, Lord is thinking, because he's a young boy, even though he does not know pure bhakti to me, I will have him taste pure bhakti's result. That is my sweetness. So this is your anugraha katarta. So actually, this is what Lord is more eager to associate with us in pure. Like Prabhupada says, na, Lord takes 100 steps, provided we take one step. With whatever impurities of heart we have, The Lord's nature is our hope, that is Bhakta Vatsalya. So we should strive and pray for Nishkam Bhav and strive for association of pure perfected devotees. So that's what Prabhupada says. Very powerful that pure devotional service is therefore ahaituki. So Dhruva Maharaj was cognizant of his defective nature of his own devotional service. So such adulterated devotee can never see Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He therefore felt very grateful for causeless mercy of. So he understood that I am not qualified to see you because I was desiring matter, but I got your Bhakta Anugrahata. So I could see you. So this is very important. A devotee must be very sincere in his devotional service. Then, although there may be many things wrong in the devotee's part, Krishna will guide him and gradually elevate him to the highest position of devotional service. So this is the beautiful, hopeful and very wonderful line Prabhupada has given. So we have to be very sincere. So what is meaning of sincerity? So sincerity has so many meanings. So one meaning of sincerity is that we detect and not act on ulterior motivations in our devotional service. Number one. Number two is we don't act duplicitously. Even if we commit mistake or something, then we express it to Lord and His devotees. Third thing is one of the lectures my Guru Maharaj says, unless we are trying to humble ourselves in front of Lord and His devotees, we are not sincere. So sincere and another reflection is one who sees the sins, that is sincere. So one's own sinful thoughts, intentions, words and actions and done previously and now. One who is able to see that he will actually be humble. Is not just a person who has seen years but who is not sincere. Sincere is one who is able to see his own sins. And then he repents, he prays, he takes association of great souls, reveals their heart. Guhyam Akyati Puchati. So Krishna will guide him, gradually elevate him to the highest position. Of course, through his pure devotees. Right? So that's the point here. Purushartha Murti. Pancham Purushartha is Prema. So one should simply pray to Lord to be constantly engaged in his transcendental loving service. Dhruva Maharaj, being cognizant of his desire for material benefit, wanted protection from the Lord so that he might not be misled or deviated from the path of pure devotional service by materialism. So this is sincerity. So now he wants protection. Now he is very alert that, my dear Lord, now you protect me from material desires. So that is what is the beautiful prayers of Dhruva Maharaj end here. And we also end, it's already over time. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय, ध्रुव महाराज की जय. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So we officially pause here. If anyone of you have any comment, question, clarification, they may stay back happily, or those who want to go, they can happily proceed on. Yes. Yes, Shobha Lakshmi Mataji, you have something, you have raised hand.
Thank you. Okay. If someone has a material desire, then they will go to heavenly planets. But there may be some material desire not for enjoyment, but it may be for like completion of duties in this life. So, like if someone wants to earn money for completing their duties, so and in that process, we may not get sufficient time to execute devotional service. So that person will, what will happen then?
Yeah. Actually, we have to understand properly what is material desire. So actually, that as you said, that duty to complete our duty is our duty, right? So That is there. Grihastha devotee, for example, he has to earn livelihood to maintain the family. Hmm? So, to that desire for earning livelihood to maintain family is not a material desire. What to speak if they are Vaishnavas? It's a Vaishnava seva. However, when it becomes material desire is when we are desiring luxuries and comforts which are beyond our reach, which compromise our bhakti. That's why in such cases proper guidance is required for the doing the duties. So just now I'll show you one verse where Kapil Muni is saying that actually we should do our duties, but we should be nishkam actually. So this is the difference between outsider dutiful person and the devotee who is dutiful. So it's a very beautifully given by our Kapil Muni in 3.29. So this particular chapter is explaining that only. I'm just showing you that verse which says that.
Prabhuji, the family may not be devotee.
Yeah, still I said, na, maintaining the duty, actually, we cannot enter into bhakti unless we are dutiful and responsible. So we can't be going away from duty. Even if they are, I said that even if they are non-devotees is one thing. When they are devotees, is all the more Vaishnava seva. But even if they are non-devotees, the duty is a duty. So that is important. However, as there are complications in this age of Kali, so what Prabhupada is recommending, you can see here. So this is Kapil Muni is saying that how one can attain the level of Madguna Shruti Matrena. Simply by hearing my pastimes and qualities, one's mind will enter into me. So this is 3.29.15. Niveshita Nishevita Anivittena Swadharmena Mahiyas. So with great faith, with Nishkam Bhav, one should do his Swadharma. Right? So this is, so Prabhupada explains. So these are all Varnashram duties or our family duties. So duty means role. Role means duty like son, mother, father, wife, husband, grandmother. These are all duties and we have to do those duties. So here you can see Prabhupada says that we have to do it and see you see here that anyone can serve the Supreme Lord by performing prescribed duties under the direction of spiritual master or representative of personality of God. No one should think that his prescribed duties are inferior. So that's why we have to combine this. So if there are no clear understanding, better we inquire from spiritual master or his representatives. What am I supposed to do here?
So
There will be
329:15, right?
yes, bro. 329.50.
Yeah,
Very
thank you.
nice words. So this is how we take decision, Mataji, and there will be ups and downs. And the nature of this material world, especially currently, is very, very volatile, right? However, we have to be connected and continue to the best of our ability. And as you said, sometimes there is compromise on bhakti, right? So So we have to act under guidance and properly try to balance. When things are nice, then we should do bhakti, right? So that way we should manage. These are my few thoughts, Mataji. I am not living like that, so it's all theoretical, but this is what I heard. Okay, thank you. Yes, sir. Yashika Ahuja Mataji, you have something to say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Prabhuji, like we read in verse 11, unless one is associated with devotees, his devotional service does not mature. It does
Yeah,
not become distinct from material activities. So,
yeah, very
Prabhuji,
powerful statement you read.
yes, sir. प्रभु जी हमने एक्चुअली जो डिवोशनल सर्विस डज नॉट मैच्योर वाला जो ये जो वर्ड आई मीन ये जो फ्रेज है, ये हमने प्रभु जी फर्स्ट कैंटो में भी तो पढ़ा था, जो मतलब वहां पे भी भगवान बोल रहे थे कि डिवोशनल सर्विस डजंट मैच्योर, नारद मुनि के केस में।
Yeah. Okay.
तो प्रभु जी वहां पे और यहाँ पे ये कैसे रिलेटेड है, मतलब?
Okay, actually, that is something which he is saying actually. Narada is actually pure, but he wants to increase the utkanta of Narada. That's why he is saying to him. Paripakva kashayam kuyoginam. Like that he says. I don't give the darshan to those who are not complete in service and those who devotional service is not mature. Something like that. Aparipakva kashayam and kuyoginam. Like that. However, that is very advanced stage because Narada boy has attained perfection because of association of Bhakti Vedantas. So to increase his utkanta in that life of Narada boy, Lord is giving him glimpse and making him hear his sweet words. Right? So that is the context. But here, however, the context is for sadhakas like you and me and all of us. That we have to have proper association. We have to choose proper association. And we have to live in that association. Because, see, what you read, the next line is that na, only in the association of pure devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and relishable. Right? So, it is, we don't want to just do some activity through our body or mind and intelligence. No, it should reach to the heart. It should reach to the antakara. So that's why this comes by association of those pure devotees who are living like that. That's why we should have such association, should pray for such association. And when such devotees come to our places, we should hear, do pranipat, pariprashna, and seva. So this very question can be asked to such great souls. They can tell better way. Like the sannyasis or the spiritual masters, when they visit. So they are actually experiencing these things. So that is what Mataji association about. And one small thing which I would like to share, I don't know I have shared here or not, is Srila Prabhupada's words for this Sajatiya Snigdha Swatovara Sadhu Sangha. So very beautifully Srila Prabhupada writes that how we should be making endeavor to have such association. So I am just showing from teachings of Lord Chaitanya, chapter 12. So this is a beautiful input which Prabhupada is doing. Yeah. Can you read this, Mataji, in front of you?
Yes, Prabhuji. Srila Rup Goswami has recommended that one live in the association of those who are of the same mentality. Therefore, it is necessary to form some association for Krishna consciousness and live together for the cultivation of knowledge of Krishna and devotional service. The most important item for living in that association is the mutual understanding of the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. When faith and devotion are developed, they become transformed into the worship of the deity, chanting of the holy name, and living in a holy place like Mathura and Vrindavan.
So this is a very powerful statement of Prabhupada. What is explaining? Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. This is NOD. NOD seed given to Rup Goswami. So Sajatiya Snigdha Swatovara Sadhu Sangha. So Sadhu Sangha, the prasanga, what was spoken, this is elaboration of that maturity. What do you mean by maturity? In one line, when faith and devotion are developed, that is called maturity. Right? So that is maturity is not something which is cannot be understood. It's very esoteric. No. how much our faith and devotion are developed. That is the symptom of maturity in bhakti. But how it can come? That we have to have sajatiya sangha. And what we do in sangha, we live together for cultivation of knowledge of Krishna and bhakti. And we do all friendly activities. But what is the most important aspect of that association? A mutual understanding. Paraspara anukathanam. Right? So, this is what is thing, Mataji. And same thing Prabhupada writes in 3.29, which I just now showed. So, devotional, the association can be cemented, like that Prabhupada uses word. So, we have to have proper association and do proper activities in proper association with desire for maturing in bhakti. Right? So, these are few thoughts, Mataji, about what you said. Thank you. Anything else? Anyone else has?
Great,
Yes.
Prabhu. It was wonderful sharing so many pastimes and so many siddhantas. So grateful to you. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. So you have reached to Chennai. You are in auto right now. Both.
Yeah, somehow.
Yes, yes. Fine, Prabhu. Okay, so thank you all very much. It was very auspicious to think about the prayers of Dhruva Maharaj on this auspicious day of Ekadashi. Because of all of you, there was some discussion, hearing and chanting of his prayers. So thank you very much. These are very profound prayers which repetitively we can study and reflect upon. They are like 12 Atityas, right? So we spend good amount of time on this. Now we will go a little quicker. So we'll meet on next Saturday. Thank you all very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Dhruva Maharaj ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद।
प्रणाम। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
राधा राधिका रमण की जय।